We're halfway through the season and there's been some standout players so far this year, but who has been the best for your team? Hello and welcome back to INMR, where in today's podcast I'm going to be taking a look at every team's best player according to SofaScore. So this isn't up to me. I disagree with a couple of them, but we're going to go through that. So we'll start off with the bottom of the table and work our way up, and then at the end we'll look at the best player so far this season according to the stats, the best individual performance, and then I will make one change to the thing that I disagree with most from what SofaScore's rating metrics had to say. So we'll start off with Southampton, and their best player so far is Aaron Ramsdale with a rating of 7.06. His best performance came against Everton, where he scored 8.2. In that game he made 5 saves, prevented 0.85 xg. I think it's always difficult for goalkeepers in relegation sides. Funnily enough, all 3 of the newly promoted sides have got their best player as a goalkeeper. But there's no doubt Aaron Ramsdale is quality. He's had a bit of a tricky time in recent years, but at the minute he's averaging 4 saves per 90. Yes, he's conceded 19 goals, but I think that says more about the backline in front of him rather than how good he is. For Wolves, it's Matheus Cunha with an average rating of 7.59 this season. His best performance came against Fulham, where he got an 8.7. He scored 2 goals, got 1 assist. He was everywhere in that match. This season he's got 8 goals and 3 assists. And unfortunately, it's just falling short because of the team he's in. But with Wolves' new manager Vitor Pereira coming in, maybe his goals will be winning ones rather than consolation ones if Pereira can get them playing well. He's a good goal scorer and he's creative too. He averages 1.9 key passes per 90. We know how good he is, but maybe Pereira can bring him even more success as well as the rest of the squad. For Ipswich, it's Arajanet Muric with an average rating of 7.21. His best performance came against Wolves, where he was rated 8.3. He made 5 saves and prevented an XG of 0.45. He was also good against Spurs. He had some top games for Burnley last season. He is a solid goalkeeper, but he is a bit error prone. I disagree with this one slightly. I think players such as Liam Delap could have an argument in this one, but the stats say it's Muric. For Leicester, it's Mads Hermansen with an average rating of 7.19. His best performance came against Arsenal with a 9.7, which for me is a bit excessive considering his side lost 4-2. But despite conceding 4 in that game, he made 13 saves and prevented an XG of 1.74, which is ridiculous and once again says more about the defence in front of him than the goalkeeper himself. He's conceded 31 goals this season but is averaging 4.1 saves per 90, and he's prevented the most goals this season with 4.4. Next up is Everton. Their best player is Dwight McNeil. I agree with this one massively. His average rating is 7.41. His best performance came against Villa, where he got an 8.4 with a goal and an assist. He's got 6 goal involvements this season, makes 2.5 key passes per 90, and I've said this in previous podcasts, anything that goes well for Everton, Dwight McNeil is heavily involved in it. He is their shining light. Crystal Palace's best player has been Ismaila Sarr with an average rating of 7.12. His best performance came against Brighton most recently. He ran riot in the 3-1 win at the Amex, getting 2 goals and 1 assist, taking his tally up to 5 goals and assists this season. He's proved to be a decent player so far for just 15 million, but there certainly is more to come from him. West Ham, it's Jared Bowen. No surprise about that one. His average rating is 7.22, but his best performance was against Ipswich, where he got an 8.7. In that game, he got 1 goal and 1 assist, and his total for this season is 4 goals and 4 assists. West Ham are going through a difficult run right now, but there is no doubt that Bowen is a quality player. He makes 2.3 key passes per 90, so he is creating opportunities for his teammates, but he just needs more support. For Man United, it's Bruno Fernandes with 7.41. His best performance, he got a 9, and that was against Leicester. He got a goal and an assist in that game, taking his tally to 4 goals and 5 assists in the Premier League this season. It's been a poor start for United under Ten Hag, but Fernandes has been really good since Ruben Amorim came in. In 6 of his last 7 games, he's not gone below a 7.5 rating, highlighting how much his form has improved since the managerial switch. Newcastle's best player surprised me. It's Lewis Hall. He's got an average rating of 7.29. His best performance also came against Leicester, where he also got a 9, very similar to Fernandes there. He got 1 assist, won 7 duels and made 5 key passes. He was doing everything in that match. He's an excellent young fullback with lots of potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing him grow at Newcastle and potentially becoming that starting left back for England in years to come as well. For Brentford, it's Mark Flecken with an average rating of 7.54. His best performance came against United with an 8.8. In that game, he made 9 saves. This season in the Premier League, he has averaged the most saves per 90 with 4.8. Of course, due to Brentford's entertaining style, he is always given a lot to do. Brentford score a lot, but they also concede a lot. And of course, with the amount of shots that they allow on goal, that means that Mark Flecken is always very busy. For Spurs, it's Heung-min Son with an average rating of 7.63. His best performance came against the Saints, where he got a 9.3, scoring 1 goal and getting 2 assists in one half. This season, he's had 11 goal contributions, created 12 big chances and averaged 2.2 key passes per 90. For Brighton, it's João Pedro. This is a bit of a tricky one for me because obviously I've got players that I think potentially have done a little bit better, but in terms of goal contributions, there is no arguing with this one. His best performance came against Bournemouth, where he got an 8.5, scoring a goal and providing an assist. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists in 8 starts this league season, and he just links play so well. Not only is he clinical, but he's creative. He brings other players into the game, and I think he provides so much more than what people initially expected from him. Pedro's average rating this season was 7.37. Fulham's best player has been Alex Iwobi with an average rating of 7.35. His best performance came against Palace, where he got 1 assist, created 2 big chances, made 4 key passes and won 7 duels. In that game, he got a rating of 8.9. This season, he's on 8 goals and assists, and for Fulham, you have to say the Hale End boys are really performing to the top level. For Villa, it's Yuri Tillemans with an average rating of 7.34. In his best performance, he got a rating of 8.2. That was against Wolves, where he got 1 assist, made 3 key passes, created 2 big chances and won 8 duels. He's a solid playmaker, 4 assists this Premier League season. You know what you're going to get from him. He is everywhere, defensively, offensively, it doesn't matter. Tillemans is just an all-round excellent midfielder. Antoine Semenyo has been Bournemouth's best player with an average rating of 7.29. His best performance saw him get an 8.9. That was of course against Manchester City, where he got 1 goal, made 3 key passes and absolutely shocked the Premier League with his side's result. This season he's got 4 goal contributions. He is quality. There's a reason he's wanted by big clubs. He is behind the Cherries' surge in form this season, and I don't think it'll be long before we see him make a move. City have struggled this season, but their best player has been Kevin De Bruyne with an average rating of 7.65. His best performance came against Ipswich, where he got a 9.6. He got 1 goal and 1 assist in that game. He's had 4 goal contributions this season. City are struggling, there's no doubt about that, but he is making 2.5 key passes per 90. There is a shout for Gvardiol here, and it was a close call for me for this one to be the one I disagree with. I don't think anyone's been particularly excellent for City, but Gvardiol has impressed me. Nottingham Forest's best player has been Elliot Anderson. His best performance came against Crystal Palace, where he got a rating of 8.9. He's averaged 7.29 this season. In that Palace game, he made 5 key passes, created 2 big chances and had 6 successful dribbles. That's an 100% success rate. He's had 5 assists in the Premier League this season, and although he did cost a lot, he is starting to prove his worth and he's going to become a really important player for Nottingham Forest in years to come. For Arsenal, a really simple one. Of course, it's Bukayo Saka. He's had an average rating of 8.03. His best performance came against Southampton, where he got a rating of 9.9, just missing out on the perfect game. He got 1 goal and 2 assists and made 7 key passes. This season, he has been absolutely immense, scoring 5 goals and providing 10 assists. He's created 19 big chances, which is the most out of any player in the league, and has outperformed his expected assists massively. It was only 5.6 and he's actually got 10. For Chelsea, another simple one, it's Cole Palmer. He's averaged a rating of 7.89, but his best performance came against Brighton, where he did get a perfect 10. He scored 4 goals, made 4 key passes and created 3 big chances. He's created the most chances in the league this season with 44 and scored 11 goals whilst providing 6 assists. He just keeps getting better and better. Finally, Mo Salah is Liverpool's best player with an average rating of 7.9. His best performance came against Manchester United, where he got a 9.2. In that game, he scored 1 goal and provided 2 assists, whilst also creating 3 big chances. He's the joint top goal scorer in the league with 13 and has the most goal contributions with 22. So that is everyone's best player, which means of course the best player this season, according to SofaScore, has been Bukayo Saka with a rating of 8.03. The best individual performance this season was Cole Palmer versus Brighton, where he got a 10, and one change I would make would be for the Man United one. They've selected Bruno Fernandes, but personally for me, I think it's Amad Diallo. He only missed out by like 0.06, but I think the reason that Bruno Fernandes went ahead is because the ratings get bumped up a lot when they score goals, and obviously with Bruno Fernandes on penalties, that means he's got a little bit of an unfair advantage and he's essentially stat padding. Amad Diallo, I think, is a perfect player under Amorim. He scored 2 goals and provided 6 assists in the Premier League this season, and I think a lot of his game is really impressive under Amorim in terms of what he does out of possession. He works so hard to win the ball back. He's become a really key asset for Amorim already, but the ratings don't really take into account what players, especially attacking players, do out of possession. So for me, the one swap I would make is Amad Diallo for Bruno Fernandes. I think Diallo has been Man United's best player this season. That is where I'm going to end today's podcast, but there are plenty of others you can go and listen to. For more content, be sure to check out my website, that's inmrfootball.co.uk. On there you can find match reports, live blogs, club updates and so much more. And if that's not enough, INMR is also on X and Instagram, so you can follow me on both of those platforms for more daily football content. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.